Welcome back to Blind Nation once again. I am on a roll today. This is a bit of a different vlog though. This one's got to do well exactly what the title talks about. Blind and sighted relationships and just kind of going through a few things that I've been asked. And of course I'll mention them questions just in case you go like, what are you talking about? First of all, I don't think or don't believe that just because a person is blind related to sighted, that the relationship cannot work. There are relationships where people are blind and sighted and have a perfectly fine relationship. I think when you get involved in a relationship that way, you both have to meet in the middle. You both got to understand each other. You've got to be able to compromise and work with each other. And if you can't do that, then the answer would be no. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't last. But when it comes down to a honest relationship and there's true love and passion and you really love each other, then it will work, because you will meet in the middle, you will compromise, and you will adjust, and you got to learn each other. You've got to adapt, and that goes on both sides. Not just the blind happen to adapt with the sighted, but the sighted has to adapt with their blind partner on things that, learning what, how to help them, how to, the things to do and the things not to do. I've been in relationships that did not work because the other side, the other person did not want to meet in the middle. The other person was doing the things that shouldn't have been done. For example, I was in a relationship before, and whenever there was like a birthday party, my ex-girlfriend, she had, we had lived with her parents, and they had these big parties. And her mom's boyfriend had this huge pole barn, and at the back of the pole barn was a bar. Like he had a built-in bar, and this pole barn's huge. Like he could fit his semi in it. He could fit 2 semis inside this thing if he wanted to. Anyway, when the parties would take place, I would pretty much be left over to the side, kind of by myself, and every now and then someone would say hi, and that was fine, but she would just go about the party with everybody else and just pretty much kind of blow me off like I really wasn't there. So you can't do that. You can't just put your boyfriend / girlfriend off to the side because you've got people around. Because if you love that person, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter who's there. It's not going to matter what people think. And I'm sure, people are going to have their opinions and all this. But that relationship did not work. It didn't work. And there was more reasons on top of it. And I won't get into all that. But it just didn't work out. I did everything I could to try to make that work, because I don't get involved in a relationship unless I really mean it, unless I really want that relationship to work out. I've learned from it, and I'm stronger from that now. But a relationship between someone that is blind and someone that is sighted can work, but it takes 2 people. And that goes for any kind of relationship at that. Even 2 people sighted. It takes two people to make a relationship work. So it's not really, to me, it's not a factor that, well, the other person's blind. It's a factor of you got to go in 50-50. That's my opinion. Now, I don't claim to be no professional at dating and all this stuff or have the right answers. I'm going from my own opinions here and my own experience. But you have to, in any relationship, you got to be able to adapt with each other and learn each other. And when you do that, and when you love each other, when you really love each other, not lust, but love each other, none of that's going to matter. None of it. Uh, so just remember that. If you're uh, dating someone that is visually impaired or blind, or vice versa, you gotta work together, and everything will be fine, and you'll have a perfect, there's no perfect relationship, but you know what I'm saying. Um, and so let's see what else. I'm trying to think here um, on some of the other things that I've experienced. Uh, like I said, the one big thing is, the other thing is this is, and this really isn't to do with exactly um, relationship, but just being uh, blind in particular. Uh, People will talk about you, and you're sitting right there, and you got people like, they're whispering, but they're loud enough to where you hear them, and you're thinking, hello, I'm blind, I can hear you, uh, hello. Oh, that's great. Yeah, continue to talk about me. I love it. I experienced that too, by the way. So, anyways, back to the topic here. I do not think that blind and sighted relationships are not able to work out. I think that um, it's all about, first of all, how you go into the relationship, how you look at that person, and how you really feel about that person. Um, and learn to understand your companion that's visually impaired or blind. Learn to understand how they do things, and how they you know what's the word, you know what I'm saying. You got to learn who they are, and how they do their everyday living. um and of course, it goes both ways, though. You got to be supportive to both sides. You've got to support each other. um I think that the more that the sighted and the blind can uh, join together, and the better that you can adapt. And uh, to me, I went to uh, a blind school, and I've not told this story, and I could tell this story on a different vlog if you guys want to hear about why I didn't finish school and all that, and why I waited so long, but to get my diploma and all that. I can do that on a different story, but what I'm saying is that when it comes to the blind and the sighted and the communities, uh, when you grow up and you are placed in a private school or a blind school, you are separated from the sighted world. There needs to be more interaction between both, because that's going to help later on down the road. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. I know that I know that I'm right here. Um, if you live your life being visually impaired or blind for 18 years or 20. Well, okay, if you go 18 or 20 years, and now just try to follow me on this, and maybe to make sense, and you say, okay, 18 years, most of that 18 years you're in a private school or a blind school, and then you're let out into the real world with the sighted community. You're going to be nervous. You're going to feel out of place. You're not going to want to be around big crowds. You're not going to want to be involved with bigger things later on in life. And I get the blind schools have their specialties, and they teach you to learn Braille and all this stuff, but I think that there's downfalls to that as well. So anyways, my answer to that with the visually impaired / blind community dating with the sighted community, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing at all wrong with it. Some people are okay with that, and some are not. Those that are not okay with it, then they don't got to worry about it, because they never look at trying to be with someone that's sighted, or vice versa. But just because someone has being visually impaired or blind doesn't make them this person that you cannot be with because of it. Because you could be missing out on the best thing, best thing in your life. You just never know. You got to learn to adapt and give each other a chance. If you really like each other, don't like each other 1 minute and then all of a sudden be like, no, this is not going to work. Look, if you got that vibe at the beginning, see where it goes and see what happens, and just meet in the middle. And if you do that, I bet it does work out. So I hope that helps some of you wondering, can the blind date the sighted? Can the sighted date the blind? Absolutely. I see nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of do's and don'ts. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. What the heck? Well, somebody's mad over there, huh? Anyways, so that's the deal. Meet in the middle. Let me know what you guys think. If you're sighted, would you date someone that's blind? Or if you're blind, would you date someone that's sighted? I'm curious to know. And I know I kind of got off track for a minute, but I was getting ready to get up and see what was going on. But I don't know. Some girl was screaming. I don't know. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. I love you guys. I hope this gives you a little bit of a better understanding. And let me know if you ever have questions. I love answering questions and giving my opinions and thoughts. And I'll do the best I can. So, there you go. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later on.